Episode 5. What does Puerto Ricans Citizenship reveal about U.S. imperialism? By the end of the 19th century, the Spanish Empire was pressured to limit its power over its Caribbean possessions. In Puerto Rico, a group of political leaders pushed the Spanish crown to give them more autonomy over their domestic matters. Consequently, in 1897, the Spanish crown approved the Autonomic Charter. This official document ratified that Puerto Ricans were Spanish citizens, a legal status that could not be changed except with the citizens' votes. Moreover, it allowed the people of Puerto Rico to have a government of their own, to negotiate their commercial and economic treaties, and granted them full representation in the Spanish Parliament like any other province of Spain. However, neither Puerto Rico's newly autonomous government nor the citizenship status of its people lasted long. After the suspected attack on an American battleship in Havana Harbor, the U.S. declared war on the Spanish Empire, which interrupted Puerto Rico's process of becoming an autonomous political entity. In July 1898, the United States invaded Puerto Rico due to the belief in manifest destiny, which signified a divine mission to spread democracy across the continent. By signing a peace treaty with Spain, the United States acquired Puerto Rico, establishing its military and naval dominance in the Caribbean and concluding the Spanish-American War, which determined Puerto Rico's colonial fate. Interestingly, even though Puerto Rico met the requirements for admission into the American Union under the Northwest Ordinance of 1787, the Treaty of Paris did not include language to incorporate Puerto Rico nor to grant its people American citizenship. Instead, it gave complete authority to the U.S. Congress to decide the legal status of Puerto Rico's inhabitants, disregarding the fact that Puerto Ricans were already Spanish citizens and needed to be consulted about any changes to their legal status. 2 years after signing the treaty, in 1900, the U.S. passed the Foraker Act, which established an American civil government claiming plenary powers over Puerto Rico and also established the judicial identity of the people of Puerto Rico. This legal term created the understanding that Puerto Ricans were different, considered an alien race, and possibly inferior to U.S. citizens of the mainland. In 1901, the Supreme Court issued a series of policies that restricted the protections provided by the U.S. Constitution to newly unincorporated territories known as the insular cases. The U.S. exerted control over Puerto Rico by introducing a limited form of citizenship, which limited the access of Puerto Ricanos to their rights and restricted their political and economic independence. The U.S. showcased a new type of empire in the 20th century by also imposing the use of U.S. currency, English as the language of instruction, the establishment of American military bases, and the ultimate veto power over any local legislation. This empire exerted dominance and control by influencing legislation, enforcing restrictive public policies, and neutralizing any opposition, all while giving the impression that their subjects had control over their domestic affairs. In these ways, the Treaty of Paris, the Foraker Act, and the insular cases strengthened the U.S. political power and domination over the inhabitants of Puerto Rico and plowed the path for the building of a U.S. empire, while successfully creating the legal antecedents and enacting colonial practices that later justified the conferral of limited American citizenship, second-class citizenship, to Puerto Rico and other unincorporated territories.